Yo, welcome back to Eat, Sleep, Breathe Hoops with your boy, Nicky P, man. Good evening. Tonight, we're not talking about a guaranteed Hall of Famer or a player whose jersey hangs in every arena. Tonight, we're talking about a vibe, a swagger, a player who was in many ways a decade or two ahead of his time. We're talking about Nick Van Exel. To understand Nicky the Quick, you have to start in the crucible of Kenosha, Wisconsin. His upbringing wasn't paved with privilege. Raised by primarily his grandmother, he learned toughness on the playgrounds. He wasn't a highly touted recruit. His path was the junior college route. First at Trinity Valley in Texas, it was here, away from the spotlight, that his game simmered. A relentless work ethic met a flashy, creative flair. That combination got him to the University of Cincinnati, playing for the demanding Bob Huggins. At Cincinnati, Van Exel became a star. He was the engine of a nationally ranked team, a clutch shooter with a killer instinct. His 1992 NCAA tournament game winner against BYU, a deep three, cool as ice. That was Nick. Big moment, big shot, but it was more than scoring. It was the way he played the game, with the chip on his shoulder, a penetrating gaze, and an unmistakable confidence that bordered on defiance. The Lakers saw it, and with the 37th pick in the 1993 draft, they stole a future cornerstone. His earlier NBA days in LA were baptism by fire. He walked into a franchise in transition, post-Magic, pre-Dynasty, and he didn't just want to play, he wanted to own the court. As a rookie, he famously told veteran teammate Sadell III, "Get off my point." That was Nick Van Exel. He wasn't waiting his turn. By his second season, he was an all-star, averaging over 16 points and 8 assists. He was the quarterback, the nerve center of the young, exciting Lakers dubbed the Lake Show. And here's where we start our what-ifs. The core was breathtaking. A young, explosive Shaquille O'Neal, acquired in 1996. A teenage phenom named Kobe Bryant, drafted that same year. The smooth two-way elegance of Eddie Jones and the gritty, unpredictable maestro, Nick Van Exel. Imagine that lineup today. Van Exel, 6'3" at the point, Eddie Jones at the 2, Kobe at the 3, Shaq in the middle. Man, just throw anybody off the street as that fifth player and they beating anybody still. The defensive versatility, the transition offense, the sheer athleticism. But Van Exel was the key. He was the one who had the ball in his hands, who made the plays. He was fearless, unafraid to take and make big shots, even with Shaq on the block and Kobe on the wing. He played with an edge that perfectly complemented Shaq's dominance and Kobe's ferocity. This wasn't a polite team. This was a vicious team. Van Exel's attitude set the tone. He was the emotional leader, the one who'd get in your face, who'd hit a 30-footer to silence a run, who'd make the daring pass nobody saw. They were good. They won 61 games in '98, but the front office, led by Jerry West, made a calculated and hindsight, debatable decision. They saw two brilliant shooting guards in Kobe and Eddie Jones, and perhaps saw Van Exel's strong will as a potential problem for a team that wanted to mold around Shaq's prime. In 1998, they traded Van Exel to Denver for Tony Battier and Tyronn Lue. It was a move to clear the deck, to hand the reins fully to Shaq and Kobe. But what if they hadn't done that? What if they would have kept Eddie Jones, Nick Van Exel, Kobe, and Shaq? Some say it might be too many egos to go around, that it might not have worked. Shoot, in a perfect world, it would have worked perfectly, with chips on chips on chips. Throw Kobe or Eddie at the 2 and the 3, it don't really matter. Nick Van Exel out there with Diesel in the middle, that's a walking all-star team every single game. It wouldn't be no Derek Fisher, no disrespect, but Nick Van Exel out there running the point, man. A walking heat check, a creator who demanded respect from 30 feet from the basket. He was a pressure player. The Lakers might not have lost to Utah in '98 or San Antonio in '99 with that extra dimension of shot creation and fearlessness. The three-peat from 2000 to 2002, it likely happens, and perhaps even a year earlier. And the tension between Shaq and Kobe, a strong, respected veteran voice like Nick Van Exel and Eddie Jones, a peer, not a role player, might have been a crucial buffer for the two. That team wouldn't have just won chips. They would have terrorized the league with a combination of size, skill, and sheer audacity, arguably becoming the greatest team of all time. No cap. Van Exel's career after LA proved his talent was no fluke. In Denver, he made another All-Star game, famously leading an 8 seed to a first round upset over the 1 seed Sonics. He had productive years in Dallas, Golden State, Portland, and San Antonio. He was always the guy you wanted with the ball in the fourth quarter. He retired 16th all-time in assists, ahead of legends like Isaiah Thomas. The numbers, however, never captured his essence. And that essence is why he would be a perfect superstar in today's league. Let's elaborate on that. The modern NBA is built for Nick Van Exel. The three-point revolution. Van Exel wasn't just a good shooter. He was a range shooter. He pulled up from the logo before it was analytics approved. He would have green lights from every coach in the league today. Imagine him in a Trae Young or a Dame Lillard type of role. Killing. And let's not start with the pick and roll dominance. With his handle, his vision, and pull-up shooting, and quickness and speed and explosiveness, he'd be a nightmare in spread pick and roll sets. No more big men camping in the lane like in the 90s, because he'd mid-range you to death or floater you to death. He'd have acres of space to operate, hit the three and get to the rack on you, and be throwing dimes on you and lobs all game long. His playmaking and pace, back to the dimes and lobs. Today, games value pace, space, and creative passers. Van Exel was a wizard with the ball. If you don't believe me, just look at these highlights. Throwing dimes on dimes, great passes on great passes. Man, one of the most talented passers of all time. Throwing no-look dimes and threading the needles in transition. His flair is Instagram and TikTok gold. And he had the clutch gene. In an era defined by isolation, scoring in crunch time, Van Exel lived for those moments. He was ice in his veins personified. And the swagger, his confidence, his edge, his unique personality, that's a brand today. He'd be a fan favorite in the media. In the 1990s, his style was sometimes seen as rebellious, even disruptive at times. In the 2020s, it would be celebrated as innovative and empowering. So what do we make of Nick Van Exel's legacy? He was a catalyst, a pioneer of style that would later become the norm. He was the bridge between the tough-nosed 90s and the free-flowing modern game. His trade from the Lakers remains one of the great sliding door moments in NBA history. We were robbed of seeing perhaps the most electrifying, complete, and intimidating quartet of talent the league might have ever seen. He wasn't just a player, he was an attitude. He was proof that talent doesn't always come in a polite package. He was Nick Van Exel, confident, clutch, crucially ahead of his time, in another era, either the one he almost helped dominate or the one we watch today. He wouldn't just be another name from the past, he'd be a legend. Once again, it's your boy, Nicky P. What y'all think? Y'all remember Nick the Quick, man? I mean, one of the coldest. Just go look him up. Look at this video. Look at other videos. Nick the Quick was like that. Hop in that comment section. Subscribe. Go share with your friends. Repost. All that good stuff. And you know who it is. It's your boy, Nicky P. This is Eat, Sleep, Breathe, Hoops. And until the next time, peace.